A Japanese salesman dies from overworking and is reborn in another world as Ars Luvent, the heir to House Luvent which rules over the town of Lamberg. He also discovers that he possesses the ability to appraise other individuals and measure their talents. 3 years later, he convinces a soldier who isn't good at handling a spear to take up archery instead, which he in turn is very skilled at. He later finds an orphan named Ritsumu is being mistreated by the villagers due to his race, and takes him in, demanding that his servants treat him with respect. Ars's father Raven agrees to let him stay if he can beat him in a mock duel. With some help from Ars, Ritsu manages to win the fight, and he officially becomes Ars's retainer. While learning about the conflicting war in their region, Ars is sent to find someone who can use magic for Raven's army. During his search, Ars feels pity for the poor and homeless, but Ritsu convinces him that he cannot help them at this point. A girl steals Ars's money and they chase her down, defeating some slave traders who are after her, as they intend to sell her into slavery after they caught her trying to steal from them. The girl introduces herself as Charlotte Wraith. Realizing that she can use magic, they invite her to become Ars's second retainer, but she declines as she is concerned about the homeless kids. Sometime later, the homeless kids inform them that Charlotte has been captured by the same slave traders from before. Ars and Ritsu follow the slave traders to their lair, and after Ritsu defeats them, Ars offers to buy Charlotte from them. After some bribing, their leader Albert reluctantly agrees to sell her to them. Learning of Ars's plan to create a peaceful town for everyone to be happy in, Charlotte finally accepts Ars's offer, and after Ritsu gives her a pendant that he found earlier, shows off her magic skills. Raven also accepts her as Ars's retainer. 3 years later, the war is still going on and Raven's army has scored many victories thanks to Charlotte, who has now become a powerful mage. At this time, Ars now has 2 younger siblings. Ars, Ritsu, and Charlotte search for a group of talented hunters to recruit them. Charlotte is then revealed to have feelings for Ars. They meet the hunters and invite them to be soldiers. Ars also meets their timid younger brother Roselle, who reluctantly goes with his brothers to Ars's mansion. In the library, they learn that Roselle has skilled knowledge. After some convincing from his father and brothers, he finally agrees to join Ars. Raven grows ill from the war, and Ars learns that he has an arranged bride, who is a girl named Ligia Plaid. Reading her, Ars realizes how devious she can be, but pretends to be oblivious to this. After they spend the day together, Ligia soon truly begins to develop feelings for Ars, who in response tells her about his skills. Charlotte secretly grows jealous of Ligia. The next day, Ligia heads home, having decided to marry Ars after all in the future. Ars remains in contact with her via letters. As Raven's illness grows worse, he learns of an assassination. Ars attends a meeting with the nobles alongside his subordinates regarding the war and the murder. Ligia's father, who also attended the meeting, approves of his future marriage to his daughter. Concerned of his father, Ars becomes determined to help by training hard. However, Raven warns him that he is not cut out for fighting in the war yet. He is traumatized after a war criminal is beheaded in front of him. Raven then prepares to engage the enemy, bringing Ritsu, Charlotte, and Roselle along. Raven's army once again emerges victorious, but his illness has worsened again upon returning home. Meanwhile, Ars is still training so he can be involved in the war. Ligia returns and Ritsu, Charlotte, and Roselle inform her of Ars's pain. Raven later calls the four to his room and requests for them help Ars. After spending the night with his family, Raven dies from his illness. Ars officially becomes the head of House Luvent while Ritsu, Charlotte, Roselle, and Ligia recall their times with Raven. A woman with red hair and purple eyes hears about the assassination. 3 months after Raven's death, Ars announces to the nobles that he is now House Luvent's new lord. Continuing the fight in the war, Ars learns of a band of mercenaries called Shadow who can help them get information on their enemies. They visit an orphanage that Ars built to shelter the homeless kids from earlier, whose lives have now improved for the better. Ligia also meets up with them again. That night, after some competition between Ligia and Charlotte, Ars and Roselle end up sleeping with them, although the boys fail to get any sleep. The next day, The group head to the bar that Shadow owns where they have a confrontation with their leader Fam, who was previously disguised as a waitress. Ars also tells her about his skills after she demands how he knew her true identity. After some convincing, Fam agrees to get them the information they need. After getting the required information from Fam, who is revealed to be a man disguised as a girl, Ars informs the nobles of what he learned. They then go to inform the Parina County's leader that he has been duped by their enemies. Negotiations nearly turn rough, but the county chief of Massa reveals himself, having decided to come along with Ars. Now aware of the truth, the chief of Parina agrees to ally with them. Visiting his father's grave, Ars is grateful of Ritsu, Charlotte, and Roselle for being supportive of him, while two other nobles also visit Raven's grave to honor him. Ars meets Lord Kuran. Ars and his subordinates are invited to Lord Kuran's party, though Charlotte gets left behind. Once there, Ars sees how high his stats are but also suspects something is amiss. Kuran announces his desire to create independence and expresses gratitude to Ars for his heroic efforts. Kuran later has a private talk with Ars regarding their subordinates and also decides to make him Kanar's headman. Afterwards, Ars is invited to a meeting and tasked to look for more talented people, to which Kuran reveals that he knows of his abilities. Ars hires Fam to help them. A drunk girl named Morel later gets a job at Fam's bar. She later shares information with Fam, who in turn has her stay with Ars. Meanwhile, Kuran's brother Vasmark is preparing to make his next move to capture Morel. Ritsu is skeptical of letting Morel stay because of her infamous history, but Ars agrees to allow her to stay. Morel is disliked by most of the subordinates, except for Charlotte, due to her incompetence, so they decide to settle things in a mock battle. Most of the soldiers join Ritsu, while Ars is partnered with Morel. During the fight, a mage working for Morel informs Ritsu of her plan, but the soldiers discover his ruse. Morel reveals her intelligence by tricking Ritsu's team into attacking decoy targets before leading them to chase her carrying Ars. As the group chase after Morel and Ars, she manages to lead them into some traps that she set earlier. Ligia watches the group from the distance along with the other servants. Meanwhile, the rookie soldiers are able to outsmart Ritsu's team, prompting Charlotte and Roselle to run, though the former accidentally knocks herself out. Morel proceeds to go after Roselle with Ritsu right behind her. In the end, Morel's team wins the mock battle. The subordinates finally accept Morel, and Ars explains his goal to her. She then suggests that he should become the next emperor, which makes him nervous. The group then have a party to celebrate Morel's victory in the mock battle. The next day, as Ligia leaves, Ars receives a letter from Lord Kuran, and his subordinates all decide to go with him.